are under the lights tonight in Syracuse, New York, inside the Carrier Dome for the ACC regular season finale between the Pittsburgh Panthers at 9-2, looking for their first 10-win season in the regular season in 40 years. Taking on the Syracuse Orange at 5-6, looking to become bowl eligible with a win tonight. We welcome you to the ACC Network Football presented by Geico. And let's take a look at the ACC standings, because earlier today, Wake Forest, they punched their ticket to the ACC title game in Charlotte. They will take on the Pitt Panthers next week. But for Syracuse, there is still plenty on the line to play for tonight. At 5-6 overall, they need this win tonight to become bowl eligible. What's up, everybody? Welcome inside our homes with my running back. He's former UMass standout and Buffalo Bill. He's Reedy Angolia. I'm John Schriffen. Taylor Davis will join us momentarily. All right, Reedy, for Pitt, what a year their quarterback, Kenny Pickett, is having. This guy has broken basically every single record as a quarterback for Pitt.
And, you know, Kenny Pickett contemplated leaving, going in the draft last year. He talked with his offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple, decided, I'm going to come back. Well, I would say that was a very good decision. You know, he's a lot bigger and stronger than people think. He's 6'3", 220. He can make all the throws, but really what sets him apart, it's his leadership, his maturity, and his understanding of the defenses that are going against him. The game has really slowed down for Kenny Pickett, and you know, he's definitely going to be a first-round pick. You see these numbers, there's no doubt he should be in New York as a finalist. I don't know if he'll win the Heisman, but he should be there for sure.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's running back spotlight presented by Arby's. And for Syracuse, Sean Tucker, he is also having a career year. Look at the numbers he is putting up. It's been impressive.
Well, you know, John, as a former running back, this is a treat for me tonight to be able to see Sean Tucker in person. He's got a great build, 5'10", 210 pounds, very strong lower body. He's got an excellent, you know, difference between his speed and his power when you get into the open field. He runs behind his pads really well, but really what sets him apart is his vision. He's able to see those creases and get through them quickly, and when he gets into the open field, he's very hard to bring down.
All right, let's send it down to the third member of our crew, Taylor Davis, for what's on the line tonight for both these squads.
Well, guys, even with that ACC title game looming, both of these teams have plenty to play for here in this regular season finale. For Syracuse, it's about that 6th win and bowl eligibility for the second time in Dino Babers' tenure. Now, this week, Coach Babers told us expectations from the outside have fluctuated throughout the season, but inside this team, they haven't faltered. His challenge to his team this week is physicality and playing to your strengths, especially against this Pitt team that knows they'll be in Charlotte playing for a title next week. But tonight, it's about that 10th win. It's been a goal for them all season. They said tonight is about the alum, staff, and fans who have gotten this program where they are now.
All right, Taylor, thank you so much. Pitt has won the toss. They have deferred. We are getting set for the 77th all-time meeting between Pitt and Syracuse. Pitt is 41-32 with 3 ties between the two schools. Lutz to receive that kickoff. It goes over his head. And the Orange will come out with the ball first, led by their quarterback, Garrett Schrader.
You know, his accuracy has been a little bit off, and everyone knows that. So that's something he needs to work on tonight. And really, you see the build, 6'4", 230. He can run the ball. Let's look for some quarterback power with him today, get an extra blocker in the box. But no doubt to me, you know, Pittsburgh's going to load this box and just try to take Sean Tucker out of the game. Garrett Schrader is going to have to make some big plays tonight.
For Syracuse, they are coming off of their last game and lost at NC State. So they need this win to become bowl eligible. First play of the game is a handoff to Sean Tucker up the middle, a gain of 5.
Good push up front by the offensive line, and I talked about Sean Tucker running behind those pads. And you know, when you can, people say you need to stay ahead of the chains. How do you do that? First down. When you can get 5-6 yards on first down, that is a great start for an offense.
3 wide receiver set for the Orange to the air this time. That is complete. Courtney Jackson, he eats that first hit. He keeps going. A nice run after the catch to pick up a first down.
Yeah, and you've seen that a lot this year, kind of a lack of fundamentals. You see guys come up and they want to hit, they want to lower the shoulder. You got to wrap up. You got to come with bad intentions, but you got to wrap up. Marquise Williams had a chance there, but good job by Courtney Jackson. Make the catch, take the hit, and then get upfield and get the first down.
So new set of downs for Syracuse on their own 40. Back to the ground. This is Tucker Tucker last week against NC State, 13 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown. He's the single season record for Syracuse for rushing this year, and just keeps adding to his total.
And just a subtle cut back there to pick up 4 yards.
Benson, the tight end, in motion. They fake the pitch. It's a quarterback keeper by Garrett Schrader. He came into this game as the #2 quarterback in rushing on the year. He is a threat with his legs.
And that keeps the linebackers honest, right? You get that little fake pitch to Sean Tucker. They start cheating and flying out of there. Schrader can keep it like he did there. Didn't pick up the first down, but obviously gets it to a manageable 3rd and 1 here.
So 3rd and 1. Syracuse converting just 33% this season. On the ground, quarterback keeper puts his shoulder down. Look at Schrader delivering a blow.
That's what 6'4", 230 pounds can do on the zone read as he puts it in the belly of Tucker, pulls it out and just goes to that right side and says, I'm going to pick this first down up, and puts the shoulder down, and Eric Hallett, the safety, comes up, and I think Garrett Schrader got the better of that.
So 4 wide receivers set on 1st and 10 as they enter Pitt territory. This is Tucker on the ground. A tough gain of 4. John Morgan on the stop.
And good push up front by this Syracuse offensive line, led by Aaron Service, the center, 68, doing a nice job leading this offensive line. You know, last week was the 7th different offensive line combination they've played with. So a lot of issues, guys getting banged up, but 2 weeks in a row now with the same line.
So Tucker goes out wide, throw over the middle, catch is complete. Courtney Jackson, that's his 2nd catch of the game, a new first down for Syracuse.
And talking to offensive coordinator Sterling Gilbert, he said Courtney Jackson has really stepped up in the latter part of this season, much needed, and you see he's made a couple plays already in this first possession.
Where Jackson is approaching 300 yards receiving on the season. That's Devon Cooper, the wide receiver, at the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10, handoff is to Tucker. And that one goes nowhere. Tucker will be dropped for a 2-yard loss. He is tackled by 3 white jerseys. That's Servassier Dennis was in there. Dennis is the guy, he was ejected for targeting the opening drive of the game last week against Virginia.
Yeah, low man wins, right? So that time, that defensive line for Pitt, and money linebacker Phil Campbell, 24, won at the line of scrimmage. They moved him back, and they got Sean Tucker to kind of stutter step and bounce it, and once he did that, they were able to corral him. So that's how you want to play. Got to win at the point of attack. That was a good job by the Pitt defensive front there.
So after the loss, it'll back him up to the 30. 2nd and 11. Schrader looking to throw. Good protection, but he's going to roll out to his left and will be dropped. Cam Bright brought him down around his shoulder pads.
Yeah, good coverage in the back end by Pitt there. Thought there was a hold in the middle, didn't get called, and good job by Cam Bright, the captain, one of the captains and a leader. Plays that star linebacker spot to get to Schrader before he can turn it upfield. So good defensive play again. 3rd and 11. This is the money down for any defensive coordinator. They will tell you, we have to get off the field. We have to get a stop it, or at least hold them to a field goal attempt here.
So you got to get to the 19-yard line. Dump off underneath is to Tucker. Makes one move, but he's going to be knocked out of bounds short of the first down around the 21-yard line.
Well, the one thing they did, a little arrow route to Tucker there. He got him back well into field goal range. We'll see what Dino Babers decides to do, if he's going to be aggressive, and it looks like he is. He's going to stay and go for it here at 4th and 2.
So the offense stays on the field, 4th and 2. Pitt showing some pressure up the middle. That's Servassier Dennis as he now drops back in coverage. Play clock is down to 5. Schrader out of the shotgun, looking to throw right side. Got a completion. Another first down for the Orange. That's Devon Cooper with the reception.
Cooper, a fifth-year player, another guy that stepped up. He's in the slot, just runs a quick out, and good timing by Schrader to release that ball, get it to Cooper right off of his break, and pick up that first down.
Under 9 minutes to play here in this first quarter. This is the first drive of the game for Syracuse. Back to the ground with Tucker, and he's going to be stopped for a loss of 1. Brandon George was there on the tackle.
Yeah, the other thing, John, when you control the ball like this, right, you're keeping Pitt's big weapon, Kenny Pickett, off the field. So this is, your offense a lot of times can be defense as well, and they're doing exactly what they want to open this game here. You see 12 plays, run 64 yards, and getting close to 7 minutes already, almost half the quarter gone.
So after a loss of 1, brings up 2nd and 11. To the air. Pass is bobbled, but it was eventually caught. Once again, that's Courtney Jackson. That is his 3rd catch of the game already.
And that was just, obviously you hear people say take what the defense gives you. There was a big cushion there on Jackson. Schrader recognized it, put it right on him. A little bit of a bobble by Jackson, so only gained a few yards as he came back before he secured it.
On this drive, Garrett Schrader is 5 of 5. But now he's got a big 3rd and 8 coming. Steps up in the pocket, fires a strike. Touchdown, Syracuse. Courtney Jackson on the reception, and the orange strike first.
Right there, that's a great play call by Sterling Gilbert. The linebackers have to respect the quarterback run with Schrader as he steps up like he's going to run it, throws a dart to Courtney Jackson right inside the strong safety, Judson Tallender. And I talked about his accuracy early on. I think he was pretty accurate on that possession for Syracuse. Great opening drive.
Andre Schmidt boots the extra point, a 12-play. 75-yard drive, ate up 7 minutes and 25 on the clock, capped off by the Courtney Jackson reception. An impressive start for Syracuse. 14 plays, ate up 7:25 on the clock. Dino Babers here in his 6th season. It's been an underwhelming career at Syracuse so far, just 1 winning season. There's many people who believe he is coaching for his coaching job tonight. He was pressed by the media all this week. He said, "My job belongs to my employer. My career belongs to me." His team responded well with the opening drive of the game as they score 7. This is Vincent Davis on the return for Pitt. And what a return across the 50-yard line as the Panthers will start with good field position.
Yeah, excellent job there by Vincent Davis. He's one of the 2 backs you're going to see get a lot of work today, but let's get him a touch on special teams. Good kickoff return, great field position for Kenny Pickett in this offense to start here.
Kenny Pickett comes out. He is the all-time leader in passing yards and completions at Pitt. And he still has a couple records he's chasing down from Dan Marino. He is 1 TD shy of tying Dan Marino's single-season record. He might get that one tonight. There's a handoff to the wide receiver, Shockey Jacques-Louis on the run. Chestnut with the stop.
Now they go speed sweep. It's one thing I'll tell you about this Syracuse defense run by defensive coordinator Tony White. They run the 3-3-5. Coach White's out of the Rocky Long coaching tree. It's a very athletic defense that can run around, and you saw that first play with the TFL.
A screen is set up. This is to Jordan Addison. He makes his way back to the line of scrimmage. He gets a gain of 8. Now, something to note for Pitt, their starting running back, Israel Abanikanda, did not make the trip. He is not available for the Panthers tonight.
They had a big kickoff return last week as well. But looks like Davis will jump in there as well.
So 3rd and 9. Pickett out of the shotgun. He is pressured. Will dump it off. That's Gavin Bartholomew, but he'll be short.
And he got him to a spot in the field where I think, Pat Narduzzi will go for it here. I really do. It's kind of that tweener land where you don't really want to punt. Yeah, Kenny Pickett staying on there. No doubt you go for it here.
So from the Syracuse 43-yard line, it is 4th and 4 for Kenny Pickett in this Pitt offense. Empty backfield, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Lucas Kroll.
Yeah, Kroll just went, hooked it up around the first down marker, and Pickett just couldn't connect with him.
So a good start for Syracuse. A 7-0 lead here in the first quarter.
ACC Network College Football Primetime is presented by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance.
It is senior night here at the Carrier Dome for these seniors, their last chance to strap it up and play under the lights. And a good start for the Orange. 7-0 lead. Their defense, they didn't allow Pitt to even get a first down on the Panthers' first drive of the game.
And then offensively, they had 2 third-down conversions and a 4th-down conversion when they started the game to go down for that touchdown. So a great start overall for Syracuse tonight.
Handoff is to Sean Tucker. A hole up the middle as defenders just going for a ride on his back.
Yeah, when you get good push up front like that and you run a zone concept, an inside zone, outside zone, Sean Tucker's the perfect type of back, right? Gets that lean going, hits the hole, he doesn't dance around, and that's why he's got so many yards. He's positive all the time. He's always going forward.
1st and 10 to the air now. Schrader, pump fake, going deep. And overthrows his intended receiver, Jackson.
Took a big hit from Servassier Dennis, the middle linebacker. And, oh, by the way, grew up in Syracuse, New York. So probably has some family here, I would imagine. Some people he grew up with, and a hard-nosed, tough player. Exactly what you want as your middle linebacker.
And Dennis is fresh. We talked about it in the open. He missed the entire game basically against Virginia last week. He was ejected after being called for targeting on the first drive. Making his impact felt here early on. 2nd and 10. Schrader keeps it. He's going to be decked right at the line of scrimmage. That's Dennis again.
And we had a lovely conversation via Zoom with Pat Narduzzi about the targeting penalties called. Not just on his team, but the rule itself. So he was not happy last week. And as you said, Servassier Dennis got it real early, so he essentially missed the whole game. His defensive back, Brandon Hill, is out for the first half tonight. He got hit really late in the end of that game, so he essentially has a 2-quarter penalty. It's much different.
Pressured Schrader. He is dropped for a huge sack. That is Phil Campbell. Cam Bright was also in there. And the Pitt defense coming up big on 3rd down.
Yeah, Phil Campbell's one of those super seniors, been there 6 years, a little stunt inside, and it's just a jailbreak, right? It's like who can get to the quarterback first. Phil Campbell gets there. Excellent job by the defensive front for Pitt. Obviously a concerted effort there by defensive coordinator Randy Bates saying, hey, let's get some pressure. Let's get after it here. Let's get downhill as a defense, and they did it right there.
Addison is the return man for Pitt, and he will call for the fair catch. Let's see if this Pitt offense, led by Kenny Pickett, can get back on track. They'll be coming out for their 2nd drive of the game. Pitt head coach Pat Narduzzi in his 7th season. He's already wrapped up his 2nd ACC Coastal Championship, but he's told us we haven't really handled success well. Week 2, they beat Tennessee, and he felt like his team thought that they had arrived. Well, the next week, they got shocked in a loss against Western Michigan, and he said, we worry about the letdown game every single week. And leading up to the Syracuse game, Rini, he told us, we addressed it with our team. We cannot have a letdown game against Syracuse.
No, he was worried about tonight being in prime time. The kids worrying about who they're going to play next week in the championship. You know, I think he much would have rather played a noon game today, and obviously they know they're going to play Wake Forest, but again, they're 18 to 22-year-old kids. A lot of things go through their minds, and they just got to, you know, it's coach speak, but you got to win tonight. You just got to put it behind you and get ready and get going tonight.
Jared Wayne caught that last pass. This is now Jordan Addison. He is dropped at the line of scrimmage. That's Deuce Chestnut, the cornerback.
And, you know, you try those wide receiver screens. The fellow wide receivers need the block. And Jacques Louis out there couldn't hold his block. And Addison gets tackled right when he makes the catch.
Brings up a 3rd and 5. Pickett, empty backfield. Flushed out of the pocket. And Pickett will just throw that one away. Early on, Rini, this Pitt offense has not looked like themselves.
Well, how about 2 possessions for Pitt, 0 first downs? They don't have a first down in this game yet. And so they show blitz, they don't come, but the defensive line gets to Pickett. They force him out of the pocket. He has to throw it away.
All right, let's send it down to Taylor for more on this Syracuse defense.
Yeah, guys, it's certainly been a point of emphasis for this defensive front to get after Kenny Pickett this week. They want to force him to throw early, but hearing conversations on the sideline, there's also an emphasis on staying plastered to the receivers longer than you think you should. They said Pickett has a unique ability to extend plays and throw guys open. Coach is emphasizing being sound in the back end because of his strengths in controlling that, but really, this Q's defense responding very well to those challenges.
All right, coming up next, the huddle quartet of Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, and Mark Rick will be back with complete breakdowns of all 8 ACC games today. The huddle, right here on ACC Network, on the ESPN app, one app, one tab. Sean Tucker gets this carry over the left side. A little juke move. Man, his moves are so subtle, but he is making so many defenders miss.
Well, and that's what I love. And what makes the play is he presses the hole, and then he subtly bounces it, and then right there, a little right there, and back with those shoulders square upfield. And again, he's always going north and south. I love it. Guys like that, it's hard to get those big shots on as well.
So after a gain of 6, brings up 2nd and 4. Oh, we got a little trickeration going. Johnson on the pass, incomplete, but we do have a penalty flag. It was intended for Courtney Jackson, and P.J. O'Brien was there in coverage.
Well, and you
in
can thank
fact,
Sherrod
they
Johnson
do call it
for
on the
pass.
safety pass interference on O'Brien.
Yeah, and you can thank Sherrod Johnson because he underthrew the ball. It was so poorly thrown that the receiver comes back and it ends up getting pass interference. And it's exactly what you want to do as a receiver, fight back for the ball. That's what Courtney Jackson did. And defensive back is just kind of in no man's land there, P.J. O'Brien.
So after the penalty,
some slack.
We'll move the ball into Pitt territory at the 49. On the ground, this is Tucker. Well, he just ran into his own lineman there.
Yeah, and that was just good penetration by Pitt, moving the offensive lineman back into Sean Tucker.
Tucker last week only had 13 carries already. He has 8 carries, 25 yards on the ground. 2nd and 11. Schrader rolling out to his right. And you see why he picks up so many yards on the ground, because he stays ready to throw downfield, but he's got enough athleticism to elude the rushers.
And for a big guy, obviously long legs. He takes big strides. But, just going back to Dino Babers, he must have been asked 10 times last week about Sean Tucker only carrying the ball 13 times. And he didn't want to hear it, you could tell. But obviously he did hear it. You see how many times, as you just alluded to, John, 8 carries already for Tucker in this first quarter.
Under a minute to play here in this first quarter, 3rd and 8. Schrader pressured, and he's not getting away. John Patrician.
He has a well-timed blitz, well-called blitz. Patrician, bottom part of the screen, number 0. He's the star linebacker. Just times it perfectly. Schrader, he's just got to feel that, right? He sees it at the end, but just can't get away. Terrific job by Patrician there.
So Ian Hawkins is on to punt away. Jordan Addison is the deep man for Pitt. A good punt moves Addison back to the 15, and he is dropped immediately. Cooper Lutz, good tackle on special teams.
And you got to do that with someone like Addison back there because he's dangerous. He gets into the open field.
All right, so if you are Pitt in this offense, your first 2 drives, you've done absolutely nothing. How do you get on track here?
Well, as good as Kenny Pickett is, you got to get some type of running game going, right? You got to get either Rodney Hammond, Vincent Davis, whatever back you're going to roll with. You got to get them going a little bit. It's going to make the defense respect that run just a bit. You got to get it going.
Vincent Davis on the ground. They listen to you, Rainey. He is spun down by Thompson. A good gain on first down.
Yeah, and even something like that, John, 5-6 yards on first down does a world of good for your offense.
Well, that'll do it for the first quarter here at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. Cuse came to play up 7-0. Welcome back to ACC Network Football presented by Geico. We're getting set for the start of the second quarter. John Schriffen alongside Rini Angolia. Taylor Davis is on the field. And Rini, Taylor in the open talked about the motivation for both teams coming into the night. Syracuse needing a 6th win to become bowl eligible. Pitt needing 10 wins to get to 10 wins for the first time in 40 years. It feels like for Syracuse, they are playing with more urgency. That 6th win means more to them.
Yeah, I mean, they want to go to a bowl game. You get a lot of extra practices. Your career doesn't end if you're a senior. So, yeah, right now, that's for certain.
Pickett dumps off underneath to Vincent Davis. Greenwood there on the tackle.
And the 10th win would be great for Pitt, right? Taylor talked about it. It hasn't happened in 40 years. But for all intents and purposes, it doesn't mean anything, right? You're still going to the ACC Championship Game against Wake Forest. And I kind of think that's what Pat Narduzzi was worried about. They tried to get that momentum for, hey, let's get that 10th. Right now, as you said, Syracuse playing with all the momentum.
Quick pass to Addison. That's going nowhere. Garrett Williams with a host of orange making the tackle.
You love it when your corner can read the play, recognize it, and react to it like Garrett Williams does right there, and then come up and make the tackle.
That's 3 drives now for the Pitt Panthers, and still they do not have a first down in this game.
You're reading my mind. I was going to say the exact same thing. I cannot believe they do not have 1 first down, and we're into the second quarter. That's some good defense for Syracuse.
Kurt Christodoulou will come on the field to punt things away for Pitt, and we have a penalty flag. Let's hear from our referee, Riley Johnson.
False start. Offense. Number 36. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Chase Pine called for the false start. Well, Pat Narduzzi certainly can't be happy with this start from his Panthers.
Yeah, and they need a play, right? They need someone to step up, whether it's on defense with a big takeaway, offense, a big chunk play, but they need some momentum, some energy. Seems like, no pun intended, all the juice is on the side of Syracuse.
Christodoulou punts things away. As Jackson on the return. A good tackle on special teams. Syracuse with a 7-0 lead coming back out onto the field on offense.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff. Run it.
We welcome you back to Syracuse, New York, as the Orange offense back on the field, led by Garrett Schrader. How do you think he's played tonight so far?
I think he's played excellent. You know, so far he's been pretty accurate. Pittsburgh got after him last time out, put some pressure on him. We'll see how he handles it here.
Direct snap to Tucker, but he will be dropped for a loss. Phil Campbell and A.J. Woods on the spot.
Yeah, but it was Phil Campbell there first, you're right, and we've called Phil Campbell's name out about 3 or 4 times already tonight. Let's take a look, and it's, you know, the rush defense of Pitt against that rush offense. You see the FBS rankings. Both these teams are number 1, respectively, in these categories in the ACC, so something's got to give, right?
Loss of 2, back to the air. That's complete to the tight end, Luke Benson. So that'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Orange.
And the other thing with Garrett Schrader, too, he's had multiple offensive coaches. Sterling Gilbert's the new offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, just got here. He needs that trust with a coach. You know, when we talk about Kenny Pickett on the other side and Mark Whipple, they've been together 3 years. So I think if Sterling Gilbert can get that trust and relationship going with Garrett Schrader, it's going to help him out tremendously in his career.
4 wide receiver set on 3rd and 7. Here comes the pressure. Schrader gets rid of it. He was looking for Jackson, incomplete. Eric Hallett was there in coverage.
Yeah, and much like what Taylor said, the Syracuse defense wants to do, right? Get to Kenny Pickett. You don't necessarily have to sack the quarterback. You just got to make him throw it a beat faster than he wants to, kind of get him off his spot, make him a little uncomfortable. Like they did right there to Garrett Schrader, and that pass goes incomplete. That's a good series there by the Pitt defense.
Ian Hawkins is on to punt. He boots that one away. And Addison will let it fall in front of him. And it will roll out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Jess Roy hosts the 3-day weekend. She's traveling to ACC college towns, letting you know where to go, where to eat, what to do, and she'll even have some special hidden places to explore. Tuesday night, tomorrow night, tonight, she'll explore Boston. Syracuse is up 7-0 over Pitt as the Panthers come back out onto the field. And you see what they've done in their first 3 drives of the game. Not much.
And again, no first downs to this point.
Rodney Hammond is there in the backfield. It'll be Pickett rolling out to his right. He's got daylight ahead of him. He's going to take off and will slide down and pick up the first down.
Yeah, they're actually going to spot him a yard short, John, because right where he starts the slide, that's where they're going to mark it. So still no first down, but see if they can pick it up here on 2nd.
On 2nd and 1, this is Hammond. And he will plunge forward, and that's the first down of the ball game for the Panthers.
And that was good push up front by the offensive line of Pitt. It's a very experienced offensive line. The coaches were not happy with them last week, thought it was their worst performance of the year. They wanted them to play a lot better tonight.
Hammond trying to hurdle the pile. He's going to be cut down low. Mikael Jones, nice tackle in his middle linebacker spot.
And talking to Tony White about Mikael Jones, he believes he's an all-ACC linebacker, no doubt about the kind of season he's had, approaching 100 tackles on the year. That's pretty good. It's what you want out of your middle linebacker.
Here comes the blitz, picked up nicely, complete. That's Lucas Kroll, the tight end, at the 40-yard line.
And Kroll's got a really good skill set. He's 6'6", 260. He was a former baseball player. He was drafted in the major leagues. Very athletic and a big body, a big target at that tight end position.
So the Pitt offense starting to look like themselves here on this drive. Handoff is to Hammond. will get about 1.
And again, I know fans especially, they get aggravated. You see like an inside run, inside zone goes 1 or 2 or 3 yards. What are you doing? What are you doing? You have to do that to keep defenses honest. That helps your offense go. You got to still plug the run in when you can.
Bartholomew sneaks free, the freshman tight end. He is having an amazing season for Pittsburgh, and he'll be about 1 yard short of the marker.
And what praise from his offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple, said he's the best freshman he's ever had. True freshman, Gavin Bartholomew, 6'4", 260, having a nice season.
3rd and 1. Syracuse stacking the box, run ahead with Hammond. And that'll be a first down.
Yeah, and I like that out of Rodney Hammond, excuse me, you know, he's 6'9", they list, or 5'9", excuse me, they list him at 175. He's more like about 190, he's pretty solid, and he's really good between the tackles. He'll lower his shoulders and get in there, exactly what he did right there to pick up that first down.
The first 3rd down conversion tonight for this Pitt offense. Under 9 minutes to play here in this first half. Pickett. He's got time. Strong throw to the right side. That's Krull again. And you see why NFL scouts just love Kenny Pickett. He just shows off the arm strength across the field.
And he'll scan the field. He'll find his matchups, and that's where he goes. And, you know, he lets his skilled players make plays.
Last year, he was a projected late rounder, probably a 6th round draft pick, decided to come back to school. He's playing his way into the first round. Hammond, second effort, will be about a yard short.
And I like that they're going a little pace here on the line of scrimmage, not letting that Syracuse defense catch their breath.
3rd and 1 from the 20, back to the ground. Hammond with a speed burst. They are feeding Rodney Hammond this drive, and it is starting to work.
And that's how you hit it as a running back. Hit it with a purpose, right? Situational awareness. I see it every week. Players don't understand, you know, the situation they're in. He knew it was 3rd and 1. He knew, I'm going to take this inside handoff and I'm going to hit it hard and I'm going to go get it and keep this drive alive. I'd love to see that out of a running back.
First 3 drives, Pitt had no first downs. They now have 4 first downs on this drive alone. On 1st and 10. Pickett trying to set up the screen to Hammond, and he's in there. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And with that touchdown pass, Kenny Pickett has now tied the single season record in Panthers history. He's tied with Dan Marino.
I love the play call by Mark Whipple. A little slip screen to the right. Gabe Hoy, 57, the right tackle, was out there through a great block. You saw the other offensive lineman get out in front. And again, after Rodney Hammond catches it, he finishes off the run at the goal line and gets it in.
Extra point is up and good. An 11-play, 75-yard drive, about 4.5 on the clock. Kenny Pickett, there's the quarterback we've come to love.
Welcome back to Syracuse. We are tied up at 7, but let's take a look at our player spotlight presented by Geico. Pitt wide receiver Trey Tipton was awarded the 2021 Disney Spirit Award, given annually to the most inspiring figure in college football. Trey has made it his mission to help spread awareness about mental health, having overcome struggles of his own after enduring 4 season-ending injuries on the field and multiple family tragedies off the field. He's created an organization called Love, Living Out Vicariously Every Day, a nonprofit to provide mental health support for students. He told me this week, the award is a great honor, but it just means it's time to help and impact more people, to fight the stigma around mental health and be an advocate for those struggling. An incredible young man, well deserving of this honor, guys.
Taylor, it is so important that you brought us that story. Nicely done. Trey Tipton Just an incredible young man, and really an inspiration not just to all of us, but especially his teammates. And the coaching staff talked about what a leader he is for this Pitt Panther team.
And Adrian Adelson did a great feature on him, and if you haven't seen it, you can Google it. You can go to the ESPN website. You go to her Twitter. It really shows you the kind of man Trey Tipton is and what he's been through, right, and how he's leading through this now. And obviously the Disney Spirit Award, that is just a great honor for him.
So Pitt ties up this game at 7 apiece. 7:25 to play here in this first half. Empty backfield. Schrader will take off. He is grabbed around his jersey. David Green caught a hold, and Schrader was going nowhere after that.
Yeah, quarterback draw. Still picked up 4 or 5 yards. Saw that big paw get on the back of the jersey. Now, a lot of people probably yelling, horse collar. A lot of people don't realize in between the tackles, you got about a yard in front of the line of scrimmage, a yard and back. There is no horse collar if you're in the line of scrimmage, so keep that in the back of your mind.
Tucker goes out wide. The throw is over the middle. So we have a fumble on the play. Servassier Dennis picks it up.
And that's the big defensive play takeaway that Pittsburgh was looking for here. Got the catch, clearly a catch, just running with it, and it just loses the ball. It's Cooper, as he's going down the middle of the field, ball's gonna pop out. I don't think it got a hit. I think it did get punched out by the back there as well. Excellent job by Hallett, the free safety, with that left hand, 31. He's gonna punch at this ball right here. He's gonna knock it out. And then the recovery by Servassier Dennis, the middle linebacker. And just like that, the Pitt offense is back in possession, in good field position.
Panthers, their 16th takeaway of the season. They start at the 45-yard line of the Orange. This is Addison trying to set up a screen. They've thrown that play a couple times tonight, and Syracuse has been well defending it all night long.
Yeah, and you saw a block there, right? A cut block. That was Trey Tipton, the one we just talked about. Excellent job again on those wide receiver screens. They only work if the fellow wide receivers do a good job on the perimeter blocking.
2nd and 6. Pickett in trouble. Throws it away. Stephon Thompson bringing the heat for the Orange.
And I talked about in the open the strength of Kenny Pickett. 6'3", 220, stronger than people realize. He's able to get outside the pocket, fight, and once you're outside the pocket, again, the rule is you can throw the ball away. You just have to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Third and 6 coming up for Pickett. Here comes the pressure. Quick throw to left side. That is complete to Addison. Right at the marker. And that'll be good enough for a first down.
In talking to Dino Babers and defensive coordinator Tony White about defending this Pitt offense, as you see the quick out there to Addison, he said, listen, we're either going to, one, we need to change up looks. 2, if we're going to blitz a lot. And if we're not going to blitz, we're going to drop back in max coverage.
Vincent Davis on the ground. This Pitt offense has done a nice job making Syracuse respect them. Not just throwing game, but they're mixing it up well on the ground. 2nd and 2. Pickett looking to throw. He's got plenty of time. And that is Jacques Louis. But that is an incomplete pass.
Yeah, he makes the catch, but they call him out of bounds. As he comes back, he's tippy-toeing. And that was close enough for, I got a feeling replay might want to look at it. Boy, that was close, though, as he came back. And you saw Kenny Pickett talking to him. That's the leadership afterwards. He was telling Jacques Louis, you got to come back. Keep coming back up the sideline towards me. And yeah, I think replay's going to look at that. It was very close.
So replay is going to take a look at that last play. We will step aside, all tied at 7 here in Syracuse. All right, let's take another look at that last play. Here's a look on the sideline for Jacques Louis.
I mean, it looked like he's got his toe in, but it's going to stand. Remember, you need indisputable video evidence, and that's one of those ones where you ask 100 people, 50 are going to say his toe was in, 50 are going to say it's out. It's not indisputable, so it stands, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
Pickett airing it out, looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Jordan Addison, and the Panthers take their first lead of the ball game.
I mean, we talk about Kenny Pickett this year and the season he's having, and rightfully so, but that man right there, Jordan Addison, spectacular year, and he's really tough to cover one-on-one. It's man coverage. There's no safety in the middle. There's no help for Greenwood, the safety, and that's a matchup you want. When you can get a safety over a Jordan Addison, you will take that matchup all day long. If you're Pitt, Addison won that one.
Sam's starting with the extra point. And how about Kenny Pickett? He has now broken the Dan Marino single-season touchdown record. He has it all by himself at 38. Welcome back to Syracuse as Pitt has taken their first lead of the ball game. They're up 14-7 with 5:06 to play here in the second half. Excuse me, second quarter. Fielded at the 1. And blown up. Doesn't even get back to the 15-yard line. Cooper Lutz. All right, let's take a look at that last touchdown pass by Kenny Pickett.
You see this bunch set. There's Jordan Addison, and then Kenny Pickett realizes, okay, he's man coverage with a safety, Amon Greenwood over the top of him. It's going to be a scissors or a crossing concept there, and that's the matchup you want, right? And you just see Addison separate from the safety, and a good throw by Kenny Pickett. And that's how you draw it up.
All right, so if you're Pitt, you trailed 7-0. You score a touchdown, tie it up, you get the fumble. Now you just score another touchdown to take a 14-7 lead. How does Syracuse respond here?
You got to get Sean Tucker going a little bit, right? You got to get the momentum back. And
as the quarterback keeper, Schrader, he is hit low and high.
And that concept right there, that's quarterback power, right? And so Pat Narduzzi said he looked at a ton of games in the past of Syracuse Pitt, and Eric Dungy, when he was a quarterback for Syracuse, absolutely ruined Pitt with that play right there. So Pat Narduzzi had a feeling that they were going to start running some quarterback power with Schrader tonight. They recognized it quickly there and got there for a minimal gain.
2nd and 8. Schrader looks to take off again, but once again, it's John Patrician on the spot.
Yeah, Patrician's made a few plays tonight as well, and all these linebackers for Pitt have been very active. Looks like we got a flag on the play. We'll have to see what it is.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 76 on the offense. The penalty is half the distance to the goal line. The down will count, 3rd down.
That's the left guard, Ellis.
Yeah, right in the middle, just a little pushing and shoving it. And they, it's always that last shove. And Kalen Ellis is 6'6", 365. So when you give a little two-hand shove like that, the guy's going to move, and the play's over, and the official's looking at it. It's just inexperience. He's a really young player, but you just can't do it. Those penalties like that, post-play, you just can't do it.
So comes 3rd and a mile for the Syracuse offense. Schrader will take off again with his legs. He is chopped down at the 11.
Yeah, Pitt will take a timeout there as well. We got another flag late. And I understand the call. Quarterback draw, high percentage. You're going to punt it away and play defense. You're only down by a score, but Pat Narduzzi was quick. hits a timeout, but now we got to see what this penalty was.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 56. The down will count. The penalty is half the distance to the goal line. 4th down.
So this time it's the right tackle, Darius Tisdale, with the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, you're going to see it. It's going to be real late, and it's just, you just got to keep your emotions in check. It's right here, you know, and I'm sure he's saying something to him, and a little bit of an acting job there as well, but you can't shove a guy in front of an official like that. And as hot as a start that Syracuse had to this game, the last 5 drives, only 1 first down. So Pitt defense is really geared things up for sure here.
So Pitt will call a timeout with 3:50 to play here in this first half.
And that was Baldonado, 87, that kind of flipped over and got the call. So a little bit of acting of him, but he did take a two-handed shove, and you just can't do it.
Well, Syracuse came out inspired, a 7-0 lead, but the Panthers have woken up. They've scored 14 unanswered. What changed in this game to give Pitt the lead?
Well, I think they did start running the ball, right? I think they got some good push up front. We saw Rodney Hammond, I think, really was the spark. Number 9, the running back. They had the screen touchdown to him as well. And then once they did that, now that defense of Syracuse is kind of, you know, you're on your toes a little bit because you want to come to those run gaps, right? And then you spread it out a little bit, and then Kenny Pickett can go to work. So I think it's been really a nice balance. And then the defense, I just think, got more aggressive, started coming downhill, getting after Garrett Schrader.
Ian Hawkins on to punt. Jordan Addison will call for a fair catch. And Pitt will be set up in Syracuse territory. They've scored 14 unanswered. They got plenty of time. 3:44 to play here in this first half.
Yeah, great field position. You got 2 timeouts, plenty of time. You don't have to change anything with your offense of what you did the last couple scores. So, and this is an important possession, right? Because you always want to get that last score going into half, bring that momentum with you as well.
Rodney Hammond in the backfield with Kenny Pickett. The handoff will go to Hammond over the right side, and he won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1.
Yeah, Mikel Jones, the middle linebacker. That's the way you scrape. Inside out, come inside underneath the blocks there. Gets the Hammond for the TFL.
Second and 11. Pickett looking to throw, backing up, and he is dropped. Marlowe Wax with the sack.
Another flag on the play. That one looked like it might have came late as well, but a nice job by Wax. As he blitzed off that right side, he beat the block and got to Pickett for the sack, but we'll see if it holds up.
Sideline interference against Pittsburgh. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3rd down.
So a lot of times you see a warning first, but he said sideline interference. It has to tell me that the line judge had a trip over someone. It's up at the top of the screen. He's the one that threw the flag, so I don't know right now. I mean, he's not moving, so you're going to see really late you saw a coach walk out, and that had to be it. The line judge had to run into him, and they hit him with a 15-yarder. And it may have been Pat Narduzzi himself, because you saw a coach kind of run out late, walk out late, I should say, but ran right into the official. That white spot that you see there, that is all the referee. No one is supposed to be in there but the official.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 37. Fans at the Carrier Dome making some noise. This is Hammond on the ground, and the Syracuse defense does their job.
Yeah, and I would expect Babers to call a timeout here on his end, which he does.
And if you're Pitt, you just wasted good field position. You started up in the Syracuse side of the field and couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, well, you had the negative run, correct? Then you have the sack, and then you go a 15-yard penalty. So that's the epitome of a horrible possession there. They run draw there on third down, just try to get a little field position, try to get a good punt off here, but a good opportunity for Syracuse.
Coming up on the PNC Bank halftime report, the ACC Championship is set. Pitt will be taking on Wake Forest next week in Charlotte, and we'll check in on the other league highlights at the half.
Got a feeling there might be a few points scored in that game next week.
So Kurt Christodoulou will come on to punt for the Panthers. Courtney Jackson is the deep man for Syracuse. Jackson fields at the 20, makes a cut, tries to get upfield, but he is tripped up at the 29, and we do have a penalty flag.
During the return, illegal block in the back by the return team. 10-yard penalty when the spot of the foul. First down.
So after a pretty clean first quarter, we've seen a ton of penalty flags here in this second quarter. Let's take a look at the block in the back.
And we'll look at it here. Yeah. Right as the return man cut in front. And it's rare to get a punt return today without a block in the back or a hold.
So Pitt has scored 14 unanswered. Can Syracuse mount the drive here with 2:44 to play here in this first half? They've gone away from Sean Tucker on the ground. He only has 9 carries for 21 yards. Tucker in the backfield gets a carry, but the Panthers met him.
Early on in this game, that Syracuse offensive line was getting good push. As you see, Cam Bright kind of limp off there, one of the linebackers for Pitt. But right now, this Pitt defense they're coming downhill. They're pinning their ears back, and they're getting through those gaps. And they're meeting Sean Tucker at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it took the Panthers a while to wake up in this game, but they have now arrived. The offense is on track, and the defense is starting to swarm the football as we approach 2 minutes to play here in this first half. Throw by Schrader, and that one is dropped.
And so, I mean, that's the one thing you don't want to do, right? You don't want to have a turnover here. That'd be catastrophic. But now you threw it there. It's incomplete. 3rd and 10, clock stopped. I mean, Pitt's going to try to get the ball back, obviously, with Kenny Pickett and score points. And so they just try a little wide receiver bubble screen out there. And good recognition by the Pitt defense. And 3rd and 10 here. And now you risk the play. If you throw it and it's incomplete, you're going to give the ball back to Pitt with 2 timeouts left as well. So you may see a little draw play, something underneath here.
Schrader looking to throw. They brought the heat, gets it away in time. Courtney Jackson, Damon Alford with the reception.
And I think he's going to be just short of the first down. Not sure where the spot is, and he's short. And this is 4th down here.
So the offense stays on the field. clock continues to run. Now,
Yeah,
is this a decoy?
Yeah, they're just going to try to get him to jump. I'm sure Dino Babers will call timeout with 1 second on the play clock here and punt this thing away.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So a delay of game penalty taken by Syracuse with 1:03 to play here in this first half.
Yeah, so now Pitt's going to get the ball back. Probably about 55 seconds left. Depending on the punt, we'll see where the field position is. But obviously with a weapon at quarterback like Kenny Pickett and a weapon at wide receiver like that man right there, Jordan Addison, you're definitely going to try to get some points here. And again, grab that momentum going in at halftime.
Addison is set to return this punt under a minute to play. A good roll. That one goes out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So that's where Pittsburgh will set up shop. 55 seconds to play. Two timeouts remaining for the Panthers.
And because you have those 2 timeouts, and of course the clock stops after a first down, you can use the middle of the field. Your entire offense is open to you. You're just going to go with a little more tempo, right? You're going to get up there, get ready to go.
Vincent Davis in the backfield with Pickett. 55 seconds to play here in this first half. Pickett with time, throwing over the middle. That's his tight end, Lucas Kroll. He'll be short, so the clock continues to run. Clock down to 35 seconds now. 2nd and 3. Pickett, far side, incomplete. Was looking for Jacques Louis.
And he kind of short-armed that. You usually don't see Kenny Pickett do that. He has Jacques Louis there. Would have been a first down. Just didn't come out of his hand the way he wanted it to.
So Pitt from their own 43-yard line. This will be 3rd and 3. Handoff is to Davis, and he will rush ahead across midfield, pick up the first down. Pitt still has 2 timeouts remaining.
And, if I'm Pat Narduzzi, I use one here. The clock does stop because of the first down, but it's going to keep going, and he did. He used one there, and I think that's the proper call as a coach there. You see too many coaches try to save him. You only got 24 seconds left. Go ahead and use one. You still got one in your back pocket to try to get in the field goal range.
So with 1 timeout remaining, how do you attack this if you're Pitt? Do you still go after the center of the field?
Absolutely, because right now you're thinking 3. You're thinking, okay, 24 seconds. I want to at least get 3, get up by 2 scores. And so, yeah, you can use the middle of the field. Again, remember, the clock will stop after a first down, but you want to keep that timeout in your back pocket to be able to run the field goal team out. You don't want to have one of those situations where they're running out with the clock running. So, yes, but you can still use the middle of the field, and I would expect them to do so.
Kenny Pickett so far in this first half, he is 14 of 19, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. And we're going to have a full start.
False start. Offense. Number 5. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's the wide receiver, Jared Wayne. He flinched before the snap.
Yeah, it drives you nuts when your wide receiver does that. Now remember, Scart and the field goal kicker, they're comfortable at about 45 to 47 yards. Ben Saul's the younger kicker, has a big leg. He can kick a 55-yarder, so you need to get down there a few more yards.
A 3-man rush, and Pickett overthrows Davis out of the backfield.
To about the 37-yard line. 38-yard line. Narduzzi may give Sauls a chance if it's the last play of the half to kick a field goal.
2nd and 15. Pickett on the money this time. This is Jacques Louis. Excuse me, incomplete.
He came back. It looked like he was going to be able to make the catch. Could not hold on. And I think it's important, obviously, for the Syracuse defense to stop them. Don't give up any points here before halftime. They're only down 7. Don't want to give up anything cheap right now.
3rd and 15. Orange bringing the pressure. Pickett running away to his right on the run. Out of bounds, incomplete.
Outstanding job by Syracuse there. Great pressure up the middle and good coverage on the back end. You see the pressure right there, and you see him just elude the running back, Vincent Davis, as he tries to block him. It was Mikel Jones, 3, that came right up the middle, forced Pickett out of the pocket. Good coverage on the back end. Excellent job by the Syracuse defense.
So Kirk Christodoulou will come on for another punt for the Panthers. Jackson is the deep man. 7 seconds to play here in this first half. Jackson calling for the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. 1 second to play here in this half. Syracuse got the scoring started. They went up 7-0. But then this Pitt offense woke up. They rattled off 14 unanswered. And we just have 1 second to play in this half.
It was really big that Syracuse kept them off the scoreboard there, because it's the old 2-for-1, because Pitt's going to get the ball to start the second half. So they would have loved to even just a field goal to get 3 and then get that ball in the second half. But Syracuse defense stood strong there, and it's going to get to the halftime here, only down 14-7.
Garrett Schrader will take a knee, and that'll do it for this first half in the Carrier Dome. Pitt already wrapped up the ACC Coastal Championship. They're trying to pick up their 10th win of the season. Syracuse down by 7. They need this game to become bowl eligible.
Yeah, it was a fast start from Syracuse, a slow start from Pitt, and then it kind of reversed once we got it in that second quarter. So we'll see as these teams regroup here at halftime who comes out with the better momentum.
Once again, Pitt will get the ball to start the second half. They are up 7 points here. They're looking for their 10th win for the first time in 40 years. Let's send it down to Taylor Davis, who's with Pat Narduzzi.
All right, Coach, your offense finding some rhythm after a bit of a slow start. What'd you say on that side of the ball?
You know, they found it a little bit, not like we'd like to, not like we're used to seeing out of our Pitt offense. So we got to get things straightened out at halftime, come out and play a better second half, at least on offense. And then defensively, we gave up the first drive, and then we've been playing great defense.
That's what I was going to ask next. They really set the tone early. 14-play, 7.5-minute drive. What more do you want to see defensively in the second?
Just make plays, and we had a chance to get off the field. It was really came down to money down. We had a chance to come off the field. We missed a tackle on a quick bubble. We just didn't make plays in the first series, and we got Brandon Hill back in the second half, so that'll be a nice little boost defensively.
Definitely. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Taylor, good stuff. We will step aside. We are at the half. Pitt with a 14-7 lead over Syracuse. Football presented by Geico. We are in Syracuse, New York at the half, getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Pitt with a 14-7 lead over Syracuse. What's up, everybody? Welcome back inside our homes with my partner. He's Rini Angolia. I'm John Schriffen. Taylor Davis will join us momentarily. Well, Syracuse, they get off to a really good start. Their first drive of the game, they rattled off basically that first half of the first quarter, but then Pitt seemed to wake up.
I mean, both offenses had flashes where they were good, but then they got sluggish, right? So which offense is going to come out in the second half and just get that momentum going? But really, the Pitt defense, to me, was the best unit that played in that first half.
All right, let's take a look at our Bojangles Big Bow moment of tonight's game. And really, it was that run for Pitt where they scored a touchdown, they got a turnover, and then another touchdown.
Yeah, and so when you get that takeaway, right, you got to get points on the board. Quick screen there to Hammond as he brought it in, and there's the fumble as it was knocked away by Eric Hallett, recovered by Servassier Dennis, and then Kenny Pickett to his #1 target, Jordan Addison there, and that was a little flurry there where Pitt was playing really well both offensively and defensively, but other than that, again, a little sluggish, as Pat Narduzzi said with the walk-off interview with Taylor, just not the rhythm they're normally used to being in offensively.
Andre Schmidt kicks the opening kickoff out of bounds.
Ball we placed at the 35-yard line, first out.
Let's take a look at our Zaxby's first half stats. And Rini, what stands out for you in that first half?
Well, the 20 yards rushing for Syracuse, right? That stands out. 2 for 8 on third down. They were good early, and that's the biggest one, really. And then, passing yards, Kenny Pickett only 112. So, I mean, the overall yards for both offenses, again, sluggish. Good in spurts, but overall sluggish for both units in the first half.
So Kenny Pickett will come out and start this third quarter. Handoff is to Vincent Davis. He's got a hole over the left side.
Well, guys, I spoke with Coach Babers coming out of the locker room at half. I asked him his thoughts on the first half. He said, my thoughts are, this is a very good football team we're playing against, and our guys are leveling up. He said, offensively, we have to create some momentum early in this second half. They did it to start the game, haven't really had much since. Now, defensively, he said, our guys are playing physical, and we're showing Kenny Pickett different looks, which was the plan. But he said, look, Pickett is a smart guy. He's going to figure it out, so we have to maintain physicality when he does.
All right, Taylor, thank you so much. Good stuff. That pass was complete to the tight end, Lucas Kroll. So it'll be a first down for Pittsburgh. This is Davis again, bouncing to the left side. He's got some room. Ducking under a tackle. Showing up all the moves. Vincent Davis, an impressive run of 22.
Yeah, and if you could start getting the running game going like this, that won't bode well for the Syracuse defense, because again, it'll open it up for Kenny Pickett in play action, and a nice run there by Davis.
Davis again, they are finding some room over the left side of that line.
Well, and it tells me in the locker room, they got after the offensive line and said, listen, get off the ball, let's get some running lanes here, and let's add a concerted effort to run the ball again. 4 seniors and a junior on that offensive line for Pitt.
2nd and 6, dumping off to the freshman tight end, Gavin Bartholomew.
And that's just all second effort as he makes that catch. You're going to see a little stiff arm as well as Pickett drops it to him. This little safety valve. Get that right hand out there. You love that old school. And then let's lower a shoulder on a defender as well and keep chugging along. I mean, that's what you want to see out of your tight end.
So into the red zone are the Panthers. 1st and 10 from the 19. Pickett, complete. That's to Kroll. No, excuse me, that was knocked out. Jason Simmons, nice job coming up from his safety spot.
Yeah, and they called it a completion, but Simmons puts his face right on the ball. Great form tackle there, knocks the ball loose, it goes back. So I think it's going to be a net gain of, I think, 1 yard. See if I'm right. Maybe a half a yard. We can give him 1.
Empty backfield for Pickett. Complete underneath to Addison. And Addison is stood up at the 14-yard line. That's Marlo Max on the stop.
And you saw what a quick decision Kenny Pickett made, right? Immediately scans, comes underneath to Addison. Addison squares up, gets upfield, and picks up what he can. And again, gets it back to a manageable third down here that they can pick up. Didn't try to get it all on second down.
The Syracuse 14. The crowd at the Carrier Dome making some noise on 3rd and 4 here in the red zone. Jacques Louis in motion. Pickett in trouble. He is flushed out, and he will not get away. Stephon Thompson with the sack, but we do have a penalty flag.
Yeah, he was on the face mask,
Defense
unfortunately.
number 7. Penalty is half the distance to the goal line. Automatic first down.
He made such a nice play. He's just going to, number 7, Stephon Thompson, right there. He's got that left hand on the face mask. He takes it off quick, but you see the referee right there. Perfect angle, and just, that's unfortunate, right? Just, you made the play, you had a great sack, and just got that hand stuck in that face mask. Stephon Thompson is a young linebacker, only a freshman, going to have a great career here.
So after the penalty, they'll place the ball at the 7-yard line. First and goal for the Panthers. On the ground is Davis. And he'll be marked down at the 4.
We talked about earlier how hard Rodney Hammond was running. Vincent Davis, same type of back, not the biggest guy, 175, 180, but he runs hard between the tackles.
Second and goal from the 4. Pickett to the air, complete, touchdown. Gavin Bartholomew, a 4-yard touchdown reception, and Pitt has rattled off 20 unanswered points in this ball game.
Yeah, and the big freshman tight ends having a nice game. He's caught a few balls today. He's doing a good job in the blocking game, and we'll play action here, and you send the tight end underneath, and a lot of times they block. You know, they'll kick out, they'll wham block. He just keeps going out into the flat, does Bartholomew. Pickett puts it on him for the touchdown.
Sam Scarton is on to attempt the extra point. It is up and good. So Kenny Pickett, his 3rd touchdown pass to his 3rd different receiver tonight. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome as the Pitt Panthers starting to pour it on here. They come out of the half with an impressive drive. They're now up 21-7. Ben Sauls will kick this one away for the Panthers. Courtney Jackson from his own goal line. He will bring this one out across the 20, will fall down across the 25. With that 3rd touchdown pass by Kenny Pickett, look where he stands for most single-season touchdown passes in the ACC. I mean, that is an impressive list to be on.
It sure is. I mean, every one of those quarterbacks, unbelievable college careers. Some of them on to the NFL. And look at Sean Watson, 41 touchdowns in 2016. And people forget how good Jameis Winston was at Florida State.
Sean Tucker in the backfield for Syracuse. He gets this handoff. And Rini, how did the Orange get their freshman sensation Sean Tucker going here?
Yeah, well, you gotta, and I know I sound like a broken record, but you gotta win at the line of scrimmage. And you see in that play right there how that defense of Pittsburgh just is getting into the gaps, and Sean Tucker's got no running room. Early in the game, they got some push up there, and Tucker was able to get free to the line of scrimmage. He could press the hole. He could plant, cut back if he needed to. So they got to get a little better push up there. Once they do that, they got to sprinkle some throws in as well to keep the defense honest.
Tucker goes out wide, gets the pass. A good run after the catch. Cam Bright will drag him down. It's good to see Bright back on there because last time we saw him limp off the field. That was a gain of 9.
Yeah, and I mean, that's another way to get him the ball too, right? It's an extension of the run game, right? Quick swing pass, and that's a matchup you want. You'll take Sean Tucker versus any one of the linebackers for Pitt. It happened to be Cam Bright right there, but a nice pickup of 9 yards.
So where do the Orange go here on 3rd and short?
Yeah, I think they're going to go maybe outside zone. I would put it in Tucker's hand again. I think he's your best player, your best shot. They're going to get a false start.
That's going to be Max Mang on the left side of that line.
False start. Offense. Number 47. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Well, they were lined up. They had 2 tight ends on that left side, but Mang flagged for the false start.
And this changes the play call for Sterling Gilbert as well. Now you're 3rd and 7. It's a throwing down here. So, you know, I think Schrader does well when you get him outside the pocket, you know, because he can make a play with his feet. We'll see what they dial up here, but I like him getting outside and getting some underneath routes.
Schrader's got 4 wide receivers. And that one incomplete. Intended for Damian Alford. That would have been a first down.
And there was another receiver real close to Alford here. You're going to see this here. Got twins on the top here. And just, to me, 2 receivers, they shouldn't be that close, right? You got 3 Pitt defenders right there. So to me, someone didn't run the right route there. And talked about who's going to come out and kind of get rid of that sluggishness. Well, Pitt looked really good on offense at first possession. And Syracuse, again, just, you know, trying to find some type of rhythm there offensively, and just didn't happen.
Ian Hawkins punts this one away. Addison is the deep man. This one is returnable. He's backtracking, finally makes a cut, getting upfield across the 25, and he will be tackled around the 26-yard line. Pitt has scored 21 unanswered points. This offense is rolling. Last week with the win over Virginia, Pittsburgh wrapped up the ACC Coastal Division.
And you see how many different teams have won the Coastal. Pitt's the only one that's repeated in 8 years, but as Pat Narduzzi told us, he's happy to win the Coastal, but the goal is to win an ACC championship, and they're going to get their shot against Wake Forest. And really, the champions always come out of the other side, out of the Atlantic, right? It's been, well, there you go, Clemson and Florida State. And so I think, you know, Pitt and the Coastal side are ready to try to take the ACC championship home. We'll see next week.
Panthers offense back on the field. This is Hammond out of the backfield. And Jones is there to make the stop. Mikael Jones, he is having himself a ball game at middle linebacker spot.
And again, defensive coordinator Tony White said he'll be shocked if he's not all ACC. He's had that type of year this year, calling the defenses. You know, he's on the Butkus watch list as well.
Now this is Hammond on the ground, and he can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. That's McKinley Williams on the stop.
Yeah, and big McKinley Williams, defensive tackle, 6'4", 285. You know, and that 3-3-5 defense, they don't have the big, you know, 330-pound nose guards. You're going to have the 280 guys, 290 that kind of can cancel the gaps, the defensive coordinators like to say. Kind of those slender guys that can get in there with speed.
3rd and 14. Pickett is pressured. Throwing on the run. And he finds his tight end again, Gavin Bartholomew. Bartholomew, that is his 6th catch of the ball game.
Yeah, last possession, Bartholomew caught 3, including the touchdown. This time, Pickett steps up in the pocket and finds his big tight end. And again, Mark Whipple said the best freshman he's ever had. I mean, that he's coached a long time. That's a big statement from your offensive coordinator.
On 3rd and long, Pitt picks up 25 yards. Pickett moving to his right, on the run, throws another strike. That's to Trey Tipton. Let's send it down to Taylor for more on Tipton.
Well, guys, following the last Pitt touchdown, Coach Pat Narduzzi spent a lot of time with his offensive line down here on the Pitt sideline. Very excited, very animated, encouraging the way they've been setting up the run game in this second half. And it just reminds me of what he told us this week about how challenging this weekend was, not only to not look ahead to next week, but the implications of the games before them today and even yesterday. It took his guys a little time to find that rhythm.
Pickett pressured. And he's going to throw that one away. Jones was bringing the heat for Syracuse.
Yeah, good pressure there, but good job by Pickett. live for another down, right? Get outside the pocket, throw it away. But getting back to what Taylor said and what Pat Narduzzi told us this week, yeah, it's absolutely right. I mean, primetime game late, right? You're trying to get that 10th win, but, you know, you didn't know who you were going to play until the Wake Forest game ended today. So, you know, your players are young. They're going to be looking at that stuff, and he did not want them looking ahead, worrying about next week.
Hammond finding some space up the middle.
But you can see, no doubt, as Taylor just reported, there was a lot of chatter with his offensive line because this unit looks like a different group in this second half than they started this game. A little pep in their step, let's say, and they're getting downhill and getting some push, and that's what's making this running game go here in the second half.
Third and 2. It's Addison, and look at him run after the catch. Picks up the first down and more into the red zone.
And it's just terrific recognition of the defense by Kenny Pickett. They're in a little bunch set, and you're just going to drop Addison. It's almost like a little quick screen, gets to Addison and right down that left sideline. And now this is the rhythm that Pat Narduzzi was talking about that he's accustomed to seeing with his offense.
So inside the 15, this is Pickett. Back to Addison, making those moves. I mean, he is just a shifty receiver with the ball in his hands.
And that was Adrian Cole, number 10, the corner. And I tell people all the time, the hardest thing to do is tackle an exceptional athlete in space, right? So sometimes we make the game too hard, and offensive coordinators will tell you, I got these great skill players, get them the ball in space and just let them do their thing. It's hard to tackle them, as witnessed right there.
2nd and 1. Quick pass. That's back to Addison. One cut, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers.
Yeah, Mark Whipple literally called the same play 3 times in a row. Left side to Addison, went back right side to Addison, and then back left again. Different movements, but same bunch set, just drop back a little bit. The throws behind the line of scrimmage, therefore the tight end, Lucas Kroll, could go block downfield. That's not a penalty. You saw the other receiver block. It's a well-designed play and well-executed. And this offense is starting to hum a little bit now.
Sam Scarton is on to attempt the extra point. And he got it. It is now 28 unanswered points. And with that touchdown pass, Kenny Pickett has now tied Dan Marino's all-time career touchdown passes at Pittsburgh. Welcome back. Pitt has scored 28 unanswered points as they are up big with 4:45 to play here in this third quarter. Syracuse needs to win this game to become bowl eligible. Let's see where the offense will come from. Courtney Jackson from his own goal line. And he will be thrown out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Well, we talked about this last touchdown pass by Kenny Pickett. Look at the comparison to the career of Dan Marino.
It's pretty good, right? I mean, we all know what Dan Marino did. His NFL time with the Dolphins. I mean, he's one of the best quarterbacks that ever played, ever. But, I mean, look at the numbers. I mean, look how many more yards Kenny Pickett has had. Those touchdowns, 79. And look at 31 INTs. And the scouts like that, right? The touchdown to interception ratio. You know, last year, Kenny Pickett only had 13 TDs against 9 interceptions. I think that's why he was going to get drafted, you know, late.
Schrader completes to Devon Cooper over the middle. This is what the Syracuse fans are looking for out of this offense. Let's go down to Taylor for more on Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, guys, Coach Narduzzi said scouts will ask him how Pickett is different this year, and he tells them there's really no difference other than improved timing, which you attribute to having off-season and practice time back, a lot of work on that deep ball, but otherwise, he's the same guy doing the same stuff. And when I spoke with Kenny about these records and personal accolades, he said, you know, there's a time and place to talk about that stuff, and it's when my career is over. Right now, it's all about an ACC championship.
Well, he is a team-first guy, and he's got these Panthers offense humming right now. The ACC Coastal Champs looking to pick up their 10th win in the regular season for the first time in 40 years. 2nd and 6 for the Orange. Schrader is pressured, and he's just going to get rid of it. Phil Campbell was the guy applying the pressure.
And you know, the Syracuse offense, we talked about the rushing attack, right? Averaging over 230 yards a game. Best in the ACC. You talk about their passing attack, 124th in the nation, only 147 yards a game. So that's not their forte, right? When you're down by 3-4 scores to kind of air it out, and they're, you know, kind of in that position here. But I just, boy, I would really don't want to see him abandon the run from Sean Tucker already.
Low snap, Schrader fields, fires over the middle, completes, and there's another first down.
Yeah, nice crossing route. Good job by Schrader. Keep that head down the field and deliver the ball for the first down.
That is complete to Aronde Gadsden, his first catch of the ball game. Schrader fakes right. Now he's looking deep. He's got a man, complete at the 10-yard line. Anthony Quealy. And all of a sudden, this Syracuse offense, they're alive.
Well, if you're a Syracuse fan, you got to be elated that I said that throwing the ball downfield isn't what they're good at, because once I said that, I think he's completed like 3 passes in a row. So yeah, taking vertical shots. Quealy making the play right there. Gadsden before. That's a nice sign for Syracuse.
A gain of 31, and the Orange are now in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 12. Schrader keeps it wrapped up, and he will be dropped at the 15, a loss of 3.
Take a look at that last play. You can see at the top, the receiver. Nice fake there, faking this quick wide receiver pass, and then a nice vertical shot and good touch by Garrett Schrader.
So for Pittsburgh, they have an injured player down, Keyshawn Camp. They're working on his right leg. What changed on this drive for Syracuse? Because Schrader looks like he is on time. He is throwing strikes.
Well, and it's kind of like, okay, we're down here, let's go. And so they're taking vertical shots, right? They've taken some throws down the field, and I don't think Pitt was ready for that. And Quealy, you saw in that last play that we showed, good speed, goes up and makes the catch. So, yeah, they're just trying to go vertical against a defense that's really stepped up in the box and is taken away Sean Tucker in this game thus far. I mean, only 11 carries for 20 yards. And even Garrett Schrader, who is a good runner, they've limited him in the running game as well. So they're taking some vertical shots this possession, and it's working out.
Good sign, getting Keyshawn Camp walking off the field on his own power, the senior out of Lakeland, Florida. David Green will come in to replace Camp. 2nd and 13, Tucker in the backfield. They fake the handoff to him. Schrader looking, end zone, got him! Courtney Jackson, touchdown! Syracuse ends the 28-point run by Pitt and gets back on the board, their first score here in the second half.
Yeah, and I talked about the matchups when Pitt has the ball offensively. That was an excellent matchup for Syracuse there. Courtney Jackson with his safety, Eric Hallett, one-on-one. Great route by Jackson, got excellent separation, and a good throw by Garrett Schrader. High and away to that back corner of the end zone, and Jackson goes and makes the catch. Another touchdown score for Jackson.
Schrader 5 of 6 on that drive. Andre Schmidt will cap it off with the extra point. And Syracuse cuts the lead to 14.
Yeah, and you're going to see the inside receiver. So he's faking bubble, right? You see him come out to fake bubble. He's got a safety underneath him. No one on top. And that's a matchup you want. Good job by Courtney Jackson to sell the bubble screen and then go. And a good throw by Schrader. Get it to the back corner of that end zone. Let your receiver go get it. well-executed play there by the Orange.
You know, the knock on Garrett Schrader is that he hasn't been accurate this season. But on that drive, man, he was on the money. Let him throw the ball more.
And he opened the game 6 for 6. So when he's in rhythm, he makes all the throws. It's just somewhere along the line he gets a little bit out of sync, but he looked good there. And that's what they're going to need in this game, because the Pittsburgh offense looks like they've got their rhythm going as well. So I think Dino Babers and Sterling Gilbert know Syracuse needs touchdowns in this game, and that's a good sign there with 2:03 left in the third quarter.
Schrader at 15 of 20 today, 179 yards and 2 touchdown passes. But now it's up to the defense to get a stop, down by 14 with 2:03 to play here in this third quarter. Now, if you're Pitt, you were hoping to get up big in this game, be able to rest your starters, get healthy and ready to play in the ACC Championship Game next week. But here comes Syracuse saying, this game's not over yet.
Yeah, and Pat Narduzzi, in a perfect world, yeah, they would love to be up by 40 points and rest a lot of guys, but they knew this was going to be a tough game, tough fight. They just want to get out of here with the win.
Davis calls for the fair catch. And Kenny Pickett will come back out onto the field. So right now he is tied with Dan Marino for all-time passing touchdowns in school history. He can own the record by himself on this drive here. Vincent Davis in the backfield. Syracuse rushing 5. Pickett will step up in the pocket. He'll be tackled from behind by Stefan Thompson. Now, we've just gotten word that Garrett Schrader has gone into the medical tent for Syracuse. We know Taylor Davis is all over it. She will tell us and give us an update on Schrader. 2nd and 4 coming up for the Panthers.
Yeah, nice job by Pickett there. Just get up in the pocket, pick up what you can. End up getting 6 on that one on first down.
Back to Davis on the ground. Gets a gain of about 1, so to bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, good penetration initially by McKinley Williams. 0 for Syracuse. Kind of slowed Davis down, let the backers come and make the play. And 3rd and 3. See if the defense here for Tony White can get that offense the ball back here. Big play in this game.
We approach 1 minute to play here in this third quarter. 3rd and 3. Pickett complete to Lucas Kroll.
And you saw the
For
blitz.
Kroll, that is his 5th reception of the game.
And you saw the blitz dialed up there. So when you blitz like that, you're going to have one-on-one all over the place. Right here, Kroll's one-on-one. Just a quick crossing route. You only need 3 yards, and you see kind of in the trash there. You had another Pitt receiver coming across exactly in a little rub route there as they get the first down.
Going quickly on the ground with Davis on 3rd downs. Pitt 8 of their last 11. And Kenny Pickett, he has been finding his tight ends. 11 completions now between Bartholomew and Kroll.
Yeah. Big targets, good athletes. Good with the ball after the catch, and both of them standing right by him.
So as the clock ticks down here on this third quarter, Pitt content to let it run out, and that'll do it. Let's go to the 4th quarter. Pitt Panthers, your ACC Coastal champs, trying to pick up their 10th win of the year, up by 14. Syracuse opened the scoring in the first quarter, going up 7-0. Pittsburgh answered with 28 unanswered. The Cuse just scored on their last drive. It was impressive. We're told Garrett Schrader is now out of the medical tent. He looks like he is cleared and come back into this game. But Pitt on offense, it is up to the Syracuse defense to get a stop here. On the ground with Davis, and he will be stopped short. Marlowe Wax coming up from his linebacker spot. No, excuse me, they're going to move the chains. First down.
Well, he was stopped short until 57. Gabe Hoy gave him a little shot from behind. Exactly what you want to do as the offensive lineman when there's a little pile there and you can help push your offensive running back forward like that. Completely legal, and that got the first down.
So Davis stays in the game in the backfield for Pitt. They give him the carry on the ground, running behind his tight end. A gain of 2. That's Wax again with the tackle.
Yeah, and Pat Narduzzi would like nothing more than to take about 7 or 8 minutes off the clock here on this drive. Go down, get a touchdown, try to put this thing out of reach here, and get out of here and worry about Wake Forest next week in the ACC Championship.
Their starting running back, Israel Abanikanda, not playing tonight. He did not make the trip, so he is resting up, getting healthy for next week. 2nd and 7, quick throw to the outside. Addison. Look at these jukes, just leaving defenders in his dust.
He's slippery there on the outside. He's tough, and again, I talked about tackling guys in space and open field, right? He's getting a quick sidearm sling by Kenny Pickett, gets it out to Addison. It's just like, you're not going to hit me, a little sidestep, and didn't pick up much, but didn't take a big hit either.
For Addison, his 11th catch of the ball game, but it brings up a big 3rd and 4. On the play clock. Pickett, shotgun, backing up, running, complete. That's Jared Wayne, but he's going to be at least a yard short of the marker.
Yeah, about 1.5 yards, so decision time for Pat Narduzzi, and I think he's going to go for it.
Pat Narduzzi in his 7th season as the head coach at Pitt.
Yeah, standing right there, he knows exactly what they need.
So the momentary stoppage was for Kayvon Darton, but he was able to run off the field. So we're back ready to play. 4th and 1 coming up.
And this is a real good chance for Syracuse here to get a stop. Get some momentum defensively, get the ball back to your offense. They looked great last time out.
Vincent Davis is the running back. Tight ends are lined up on the right side of that line on 4th and 1. Give him the handoff, running straight ahead. What a huge hole opened up by that offensive line for the Panthers.
Yeah, and to me, that's just an attitude, right? 77, Carter Warren, the left guard. You got Marcus Minor, 55 on the left side. Great blocking. You see him reach there. Good job. Just an attitude. When it's 4th down and 1, 3rd and 1, that's just an attitude. The offensive line flying off the ball, and you love that you're running back behind you. You know he's not going to dance around. He's going to go hard, whether it's Rodney Hammond or Vincent Davis. They hit the hole hard. Situational awareness. They know they got to put their head down and get it, and they do.
Davis picked up 5 on 4th and 1. Pickett looking to throw. End zone. Jump ball. It is picked off. Chestnut with the interception. He's going to bring it out. He'll be tackled at the 5.
Well, exceptional coverage by Darian Chestnut. He was blanketed all over Jordan Addison. Makes a tremendous interception. Probably should have left it in the end zone. Took it out, ill-advised, but a great takeaway. Syracuse ball on the other side.
Syracuse defensive coordinator Tony White, his defense comes up big. Rini, I enjoyed our conversation with Coach White this week. He talked about the 3-3-5 defense, how he's able to disguise coverage, and it looked like they confused Pickett to get this team interception and now give Syracuse a chance to bring it to a 1-score game.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do, confuse the quarterback and give him different looks, and they've done a nice job. Then again, This is a Pitt offense that's averaging about 44 points a game. Here's the coverage on the back end. Darian Chestnut, young corner, number 20. Just really good coverage. Now, the only thing is probably take a knee there, get it out to the 20, give yourself a little better field position. But I get it. These guys, they want to take it out. They want to have a big return. But excellent coverage and a very nice interception.
So Schrader looked great on his last drive. Let's see how he follows it up here. Strong throw in traffic, incomplete. Was looking for Cooper.
But you're right. I mean, the body's flying around him. He's 6'4", 230. He stands tall in the pocket. And again, you talk about changing looks up or making quarterbacks uncomfortable. He had to throw that just a count before he wanted to. The receiver wasn't quite out of his break, and it goes incomplete. Now you're 3rd and long, backed up at your own goal line.
I mean, that's just a great play by the safety, Judson Tallendier. So 3rd and 9 from the 6. Excuse me, from their own 7. Schrader flushed out, and the pressure forces him just to get rid of it.
So we talked
Phil
about the pressure.
Campbell again, the linebacker, bringing the heat.
Yeah, talked about the pressure Tony White was bringing with his defense. Randy Bates says, I can bring a little pressure as well. As they get to Schrader, and it looked like there was a hold in the middle they got away with too. I saw a jersey get tugged, no call, but good pressure by Phil Campbell. Again, called his name out a bunch in the first half, forcing Garrett Schrader just to throw that thing away. But good job by the Pitt defense getting this ball back. Should get really good field position for the offense.
Now we do have a penalty flag.
Penalty is half the distance to the goal line, 4th down.
It was an illegal substitution, so half the distance to the goal line. As Ian Hawkins is on to punt. Syracuse not able to do anything with that interception.
And it's the Cuse's 5th 3rd and out tonight.
Addison is the deep man for Pitt. Hawkins kicks that away cleanly. And Addison will back up. Makes the first guy miss. Trying to pick up some blocks over the right side. He's got some space. Tripped up at the 25. A good return by Jordan Addison. A 48-yard punt, but a 27-yard return.
And that's what happens. Back him up. Got a punt out of your own end zone. You got a dangerous return man like Jordan Addison back there. Good blocking as well at the point of attack. And then Addison just gets down that right sideline. Almost gets it inside the red zone to start this possession.
Kenny Pickett still in the ball game, up by 14 points with 10:17 to play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Pat Narduzzi would love to pull him and get some reps for his backup, Nick Patty. But in a game like this, the first thing, you just got to win it, right? So you got to keep your players in there until you're really comfortable. And obviously a 2-score lead at this point with 10:17 left in the 4th quarter isn't comfortable enough to pull out your best player.
Rodney Hammond in the backfield. On 1st and 10, he gets the carry. And look at that plunge after the initial contact.
We talked about how hard both these backs run, but we haven't seen Hammond in a while. It's been Davis, so Hammond says, well, it's my turn. Let me get some runs in here, and I'm going to go hard as well. And I just like to see that out of your backs.
So Pitt back into the red zone, where tonight they are 3 of 3, all touchdowns. On 2nd and 2, back to Hammond. Sneaks his way through the line, still moving the pile. He'll be dragged down at the 11.
Talked about his strength. He goes about 190 pounds, 5'9". So he's strong with that kind of smaller stature, and what it does is you kind of get lost behind your offensive lineman. Good push, and Next thing you know, as a linebacker, you're trying to tackle him 3 or 4 yards deep, and he's got a good head of steam with those strong legs, lower body, and it's a good combination for your running back.
Under 9 minutes to play. Play clock down to 3. Hand off to Hammond again, and this time he is stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And anyone that's ever heard me call a game knows one of my pet peeves is, when you have a lead in the fourth quarter, let that play clock run down. And it's really hard for a lot of teams. They're snapping it with 10, 12 seconds left. Experienced quarterback like Kenny Pickett, if you notice the last couple plays, it was under 3 when he's snapping the ball. Really just letting this clock be his friend here, up by 2 scores in the fourth.
A 14-point lead for the Panthers after they trailed in the first quarter 7-0. Under 8 minutes to play now on 2nd and 10. Back to Hammond. And he is dropped for a short gain. And this is really a critical drive for Syracuse. Obviously, you don't want to give up another touchdown here. You need to get this win to get to 6 wins on the season. And your head coach, Dino Babers, there's a lot of talk that his job is on the line tonight.
Yeah,
3rd and 8,
really,
you got to get a stop.
And you got to really keep him off the board, really, because even a field goal puts Pitt up by 3 scores. And they're taking a lot of time off the clock.
Third and 8. Hand off to Hammond again. And they do stop him on 3rd down.
And to me, what that tells me is Pat Narduzzi, Mark Whipple calling this game. They know the field goal is big, right? So essentially as big as a touchdown, because again, it puts you up by 3 scores. Keep it on the ground, clock's running, clock's your friend. And you'll always hear me say, you throw the ball to score points, you run the ball to win games, close it out. And he's going to think about it. He's going to let the play clock run to 1 second left and call a timeout and decide what he wants to do. I'd kind of be shocked if he doesn't kick it here, though. But he's going to take a timeout. Will Pat Narduzzi with 1 second left in the play clock here.
So right on cue,
Timeout.
Coach Narduzzi calls a timeout on 4th and 7. We'll be back after this.
ACC Network College Football Primetime is presented by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance.
Welcome back. Nighttime here in Syracuse, New York, inside the Carrier Dome. Pitt up 28-14 as the field goal unit is now come on the field for the Panthers. How about the job by Kenny Pickett on that drive? That drive ate up almost 4 minutes on the clock, and every time he snapped the ball, it was under 3 seconds.
And don't forget, the drive started at the 24-yard line after the Jordan Addison punt return. So, yeah, a veteran quarterback using the clock, just trying to get out here with a win, get that 10th win, and get to the ACC Championship game against
Sam Scarton on to attempt a 26-yard field goal. Snap is clean, kick is up, and it is good. We are now at a 3.
Field goal's good. Pitt's now up 31-14. We'll be back to the Carrier Dome.
The Huddle gets you set for Championship Saturday next week with a 2-hour pregame show from Charlotte that kicks off at 6 Eastern. Then after the game, head back to the ACC Network for a complete game breakdown with coach and player interviews. You can always watch on the ESPN app if you're out and about, because nobody covers the ACC like we do. That kick will sail into the end zone, so Syracuse will come out just their 4th possession of this half. They only have 13 offensive snaps, but we do have a penalty flag. Our referee, Riley Johnson, figuring out what the call is. It appears like this was after the play. The penalty flag came in.
Yeah, so you could read his lips. You heard him say, you could read his lips say after the play. Get the call here.
The ruling on the field is a touchback after the play. Dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 38. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's A.J. Calabro. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of swings him down. Yeah, you know, my issue with that penalty is when you're a person that's blocking, and I did that. You know, I was a middle guy that blocked on kickoff returns before. You don't know that it's going to be a touchback, right? You're just blocking. Yeah, he swung him to the ground a little bit there, but to me, that's ticky-tack. I don't think you call that there. There was nothing egregious. It's two special teamers kind of going at it, but it's going to go against Syracuse.
So back him up. They'll start. 1st and 10. Schrader throwing, completing. That's Courtney Jackson with another reception. That is his 7th catch of the ball game.
And the one thing I would like to see out of Syracuse here now, let's get tempo going, right? We got to get quicker. Down 3 scores. Let's get a tempo moving. You made some nice passes, did Schrader, some vertical shots in that last scoring possession, but I think they got to up the pace here for sure.
Schrader has completed 8 of his last 12. Here's 2nd and 3. A lot of time running off this clock. To the ground, this is Tucker trying to get away from a tackle and just does get enough for the first down.
And if you're Pitt, you're fine with that, right? You want everything underneath you, come up and tackle, keep a lid on it. You cannot get beat over the top, nothing big. Keep everything underneath and just come up and tackle. And I, talked to Randy Bates, the defensive coordinator, about it. He said it's tackling and get off blocks. It's old school football with his defensive unit.
They snapped that last play at 7. They're wasting a lot of time here. Schrader off his back foot. Dangerous throw. Penalty flags coming in.
Pass interference, defense, number 12. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's MJ Devonshire, the cornerback, flagged for pass interference.
He was in good position. Looked like he just grabbed him before the ball got there. Take a look at it, right side, lower part of the screen. Yeah, he just kind of tries to fight back through the receiver. You see the back judge and the field judge both throw their flags.
So that stops the clock. 5:02 to play. Schrader over the middle. That is complete. Cooper, another reception. That is his 3rd grab of the day.
Yeah, just right down the seam, and that's a good delivery by Schrader. Good job by Cooper to hold on as he takes the hit from the safety.
Clock under 5 minutes here in the second half. Tucker on the ground. Gain of 5.
And they've done a nice job, has the Pitt defense, keeping a very dangerous Sean Tucker in check tonight.
So 2nd and 5. Schrader under pressure, and he is sacked. Dayon Hayes comes up with a big tackle for loss.
And that's a backbreaker, right? You're only rushing 4 is Pitt. Left side of the screen, number 50. He's just going to beat the right tackle, Darius Tisdale. Good press, gets off him, and gets to Schrader for the sack. So when you can get to the quarterback without having to dial up some blitzes, you know your defensive line's playing some good football.
Pitt, their 9th tackle for loss tonight. And another penalty flag. Nope. That'll be a timeout.
Syracuse. First of this half.
All right, we will step aside. 3:40 to play here in the fourth. Upcoming 3rd and 8. Now let's take a look at our MVP of the game, brought to you by Sport Clips. And it is Pitt quarterback Kenny Pickett.
And really not the sharpest we've seen Kenny Pickett this year, but heated up nicely in the second half when he had to lead his team 4 touchdowns, had the 1 pick, 209 yards. But I think he's trying to save it for next week in a big showdown against Wake Forest.
3rd and 8. Syracuse just 1 for their last 8 on 3rd down conversions. Schrader gets out of the pocket, trying to pick it up with his legs. He does, and will get out of bounds. Cam Bright eventually bringing him down.
And that's the one thing Garrett Schrader can do. He can extend plays with his feet and make plays with his feet. When there's nothing downfield, he turns that up in a 21-yard
We do have
scamper.
a penalty flag that might bring this one back.
And they're all walking back, so it sure looks like it. Let's take a look on the inside. I think we're going to get a holding call. Let's see if we can spot. Yeah, right there in the middle. Yeah, hold right there. It's an easy call. As Keyshawn Camp, number 10, the defensive tackle, tried to break away from the offensive lineman. You saw a lot of jersey there. The referee made the call.
So that'll back Syracuse up 3rd and 20. Play clock winding down. Schrader out of the shotgun. Pressured again here. He's going to take off. As Cam Bright ushers him out of bounds.
Yeah, it was almost like deja vu. The last one was a 21-yard run that got wiped out. That one's a 14-yard run, and Cam Bright was chasing him once again. And obviously 4th down here, you're going for it here if you're Dino Babers. There's no question about it.
Under 3 minutes to play, 4th and 7. Schrader, here comes the blitz, and they got there. Bengali Camera did not get much playing time this season, but they sent him on the blitz, and they come up with the sacks.
Yeah, and that's going to be the ball game right there. That's the 5th sack for this Pitt defense today. Really pinned their ears back and got after it. You're going to see him right there, number 11. A little stunt action started inside, comes outside, and gets to Schrader for the sack.
Camara comes away with the big play of the game on defense. Defensive coordinator Randy Bates told us Camara's been playing well. You might see him out there, and he comes up with a huge stop.
Yeah, only a sophomore, another young player on that Pitt defense.
So a new quarterback in for Pitt. Nick Patty will hand this one off. Vincent Davis a run up the middle. Well, Pitt, it was a slow start tonight. They got down 7-0, but their offense poured it on, and now we can look ahead to the matchup next week against Wake Forest for the ACC Championship in Charlotte.
And they should both move up in the CFP rankings. So it just looks like a great matchup, and just look at the numbers. 2 dynamic offenses getting ready to go at it. So again, you know, talked about Kenny Pickett tonight. Sam Hartman for Wake Forest quarterback having an outstanding season of his own. So it should be one heck of a showdown next week.
Daniel Carter gets a carry. Let's check in with Taylor on more on the championship game next week.
Championship aspirations for Pitt. They didn't just pop up later in the season as things were progressing. This has been a very clear goal of this team since offseason. In fact, the players told me since then, they even break down in their huddles to ACC champs. It has been openly talked about and played for since the beginning. So they said to see the hard work put into that goal coming to fruition fuels them toward the next goal, which is winning it.
This team has got the momentum right now. 3rd and 8. Back to the ground. This is Carter again. He's backing up. McKinley Williams will come up with the tackle for Syracuse. Rini, what impressed you the most about this Pitt offense?
Just that they were really sluggish to start this game. Really, the whole Pitt team was, and they fought through it, right? The offense finally got into a rhythm. Didn't put up the real big astronomical numbers that we've seen, but they did what they needed to do. I was really impressed with the Pitt defense. Randy Bates had that group playing well, really limited Sean Tucker. I think he ended up with 13 carries for 29 yards. Did an excellent job there, but they fought through the sluggishness. They got that 10th regular season win, and now they're ready for their showdown next week to become ACC champions.
For the first time in 40 years, the Pitt Panthers have now won 10 games in the regular season. Our final tonight from Syracuse, New York. Pittsburgh 31, Syracuse 14. The Orange, they got out to a 7-0 lead. But the Panthers offense, they woke up. Kenny Pickett, 4 touchdown passes. He was impressive here this game.
Sure was.
I mean, Kenny Pickett just keeps racking up accomplishments. And now we're going to send it down to Taylor Davis, who's with Pat Narduzzi.
Thanks, guys. All right, Coach, that all-important 10th win. We talked about it this week, that was a goal for this program. What does this one mean?
It's a big-time win. I mean, you talk about, 40 years since the last time we did this. We're the 8th team in Pitt history to get 10 wins in a season. Our kids played, their hearts out today. Syracuse, give them credit. They got a good football team. Dino Babers does an outstanding job, and our guys made some more plays today.
You told me earlier this season, this team goes as Kenny Pickett goes. As he wraps up his regular season here today, what can you say about the way he's performed?
Kenny's done, kind of had a little bit of conservative game plan going in today. We got a big game this next weekend coming up in the ACC Championship Game. So, Kenny's outstanding. I mean, he's our guy, and we'll just keep riding with him. I'm riding to Kenny's back.
I'm not surprised. Well, you mentioned it, Coach. You know what's up next. Wake Forest in Charlotte for an ACC championship. What will it take to win that title?
Well, Wake Forest and Clausen does a great job. He's a great football coach, and we're going to have to play our best. I mean, they're there too. We got two, 10-win teams, I think, going into Charlotte, and great football game next week in Charlotte. Our guys will be ready. They're excited for this one.
We are as well. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Taylor. Hail to Pitt.
All right, Taylor, thank you so much. Congratulations to head coach Pat Narduzzi. The Pittsburgh Panthers, your ACC Coastal champs, will take on Wake Forest next week in the ACC Championship Game. Our final tonight, Pitt 31, Syracuse 14. For my partner, Rini Angolia, Taylor Davis, I'm John Trippin saying good night from Syracuse, New York.